Hello everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building a tiny house. I do want to just in case I have not mentioned this in a video, if you're kind of like newish to the channel and I've not mentioned it in one of the videos that you've watched of mine, when I say tiny houses, I don't necessarily mean according to the tiny living tile counter, just so you know, because we're using a lot of platforms today. I prefer to use platforms when it comes to these sort of like modern looking tiny houses. It just adds something extra to the house, but the platforms count as tiles, so it's not a tiny house in that regard, but it's definitely a tiny house when it comes to the interior, because this house is small. It is, well, it's tiny. It's less than small. It's tiny. So that is what we're doing today, and this was built on stream as well. I'm still practicing being a little bit better at keeping my camera steady when I'm recording on stream. It is different because I am also, like, I'm both focusing on the build, but I'm also focusing on the chat at the same time. So there's just like more going on, but I can't find the time to both record on stream and also record for videos. I just have to practice so that I'm a little bit more steady with the camera for the videos, but it's just not possible for me to do both. So it's either we practice and go through this little phase where the videos are maybe a little bit more shaky, if you will, or I just don't get to stream at all, and I really want to stream, so I really want to make that work. So I'm gonna practice on it. I feel like the next build that's going up on the channel, or it might not be the next one, maybe the one after that, I'm not really sure. That one is probably gonna be a little bit better, but for this one, there might still be a lot of cuts, there might be some moving, so just so you're aware of it, and I'm also aware of it. I am practicing just keeping the camera a little bit steady, because I got a comment on it, I think on the last video, so I just wanted to address it quickly. But anyway, it is because I am sort of newish to streaming and recording on stream, and it is a little bit different, and there's a lot going on at the same time, and it is also super fun. So if you want to hang out with me on stream, by the way, there's a link to my Twitch channel through the link tree. If it's not like directly in the description box, there is one through the link tree where you can also find all my other socials. So yeah, just so you're aware of it, I do stream now. But anyway, I feel like I've mentioned it in every single video I did throughout January, but you know, there's always new people tuning in and being like, hey, what's going on? So I just wanted to make sure that in case you haven't watched one of those videos where I mentioned it before, now you know, at least if you watched this one. But yeah, so this house, like I said, built on stream. I didn't know who it was going to be for when I started streaming, so I asked chat what kind of sim we wanted to make this for, and they said a fashion designer. They felt like a fashion designer was fitting for the house. So that's who we're building for today. That said, there's no such thing as a fashion designer in The Sims. I'm aware of this. So technically there's a fashion influencer item, or is that how you call it? Yeah, style influencer item in the build, but that's as close to a fashion designer as we can get. Sometimes it's fun to build for careers that aren't, or professions that aren't necessarily available to us in The Sims, because I don't know, sometimes I want a little bit more creative freedom, and I don't want to stick to the rules and everything. So I don't want to stick to just the professions that are available in The Sims 4. I'm pretty sure I've gone back and looked at professions available in the other iterations of The Sims as well at some points. So, but I don't remember fashion designer is available in any of those, just like architect isn't. But I've definitely built a house for an architect before, I'm pretty sure, but it's just not available it's not available in The Sims as a career, which is a shame, but also I don't really know how that would work anyway, since technically the player is the architect. So I don't really know. It's a bit like Dream Home Decorator is kind of weird in that way, because, you know, you're actually technically redecorating a whole house through that career, but you're also doing that when you're building a house. So like, am I the Dream Home Decorator? Is that what I am when I'm just building? Like, I don't know. But I feel like if they ever introduce something like an architect, it would be through a similar function as Dream Home Decorator, as interior decorator. However, it just wouldn't be, it would have to be either a little bit like feel like it was unfinished, or it would be on a very much bigger scale. and I think it would be very intimidating. So let's just not go there. I don't know, because like you'd want to be able to see your work in the game if your sim is an architect, but at the same time it just sounds like so much work. So I don't know. So let's just pretend like architect is a profession in The Sims, just like we're pretending that a fashion designer is a profession in The Sims. But there is a fashion influencer item, so your sim, if you decide to move into this house and you want them to work in fashion, they still can, because there is room for the item. It's hanging on actually the wall here to the left. I ended up putting the fashion board thing, whatever that's called, up just so that we had one kind of career item to make sure that whoever moves into this house, you know, is playing pretend at being a fashion designer at least. Technically they're a fashion influencer, but whatever, style influencer, but whatever. So yeah, but other than that, I had a lot of fun with this house. As for the color scheme, we're going for a lot of black, white, gray, but then with pops of color as well. So in the living room, we're not going for this color. I think I ended up changing this wall to a more brownish tone actually, because we are using a yellow rug. I don't know about you, but there's something pleasing about the houndstooth couch mixed with a yellow rug, or like paired with a yellow rug. I don't know what it is, if it's the black white and the pattern, or if it's just the black white, but it's just very pleasing with the yellow rug. I mean, it's both giving me sort of warning signs, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I'm okay with the warning signs. I don't know what it is, I just like it. So I felt like a brown wall would tie in well with the yellow instead of making it another black wall or a white wall, or I just needed there to be some kind of accent wall because the house itself was getting a little bit too white and gray. A little bit too black, white, gray. Also because the floors are white as well. I'm very intimidated by white floors and also gray floors. I feel like they can easily make a home seem very cold. So in this house, luckily we're not going for very warm vibes, if you will. We're definitely going for stylish over comfort, if that makes sense. Like, we want to make it very stylish. We want to make it for a fashion designer who cares about comfort, or not comfort, who cares about style over comfort, because that is what fashion is sometimes. So that has to kind of be reflected in their interior as well, and so it's okay that it looks a little cold, if you get what I mean. But like, I don't know, real life houses, apartments, whatever, white floors and gray floors are kind of, they're just kind of intimidating, because I feel like you could easily turn the house into something that's a little bit cold, and that's just, I don't like that. Like, even for me, living in a house or an apartment, it's not a house, living in an apartment that is very black, white, gray. I'm Scandinavian. That's kind of what we do anyway. But the house or the apartment itself still has a home-ish vibe to it, and the floors are also brown, which probably helps. I feel like if this apartment had gray floors, I'd probably not feel the same way about it. I don't know, there's just something about it. I'm terrified of gray floors. Okay, that's my point. Moving on. So we're going for white ones in this house though, and that was also a little bit of a struggle for me because I'm not used to that, but we'll try to make it work. I feel like we ended up making it work, so, but yeah. The kitchen itself is pretty black, white, gray. I really wanted there to be yellow chairs, but I just couldn't find the proper chair model that I liked for the house. It was either the color was like the style, or the chair itself looked too plastic, or the color was just a little bit off, or it was too much, or something like that. So there's no color in the kitchen. That was my point. But pops of color in both the living room and also the bedroom. We ended up using some orange in there instead, along with a little bit of red as well. And there's also, through accessories, if you will, in the bathroom, a little bit of color too. And also, I think I ended up not doing the backyard and the bathroom on stream. I think I had to do that off camera, or not off camera because it's recorded, but I think I had to do it off stream simply because I spend too much like building this on stream. I think I streamed for like 4 hours or something, and we're still missing the bathroom and also the backyard. So I'm a slow build. This is a tiny house. It's not supposed to take 4 hours just to do the shell, the exterior color scheme, and then 3 rooms. Like, it's not supposed to take that long. But again, streaming while recording is something that I definitely have to practice a bit. I just don't want to rush through it on stream either, because I still want to make sure that, you know, we're talking and having a good time at the same time, and it's just chill vibes and everything. I don't want to rush through my builds on stream. I don't think that's fun. Like, only sitting here being focused on the build itself. I still want to chit chat and everything. So, but yeah, this house definitely took a little bit of a long time for a tiny house to build, but it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, 4 hours, and then probably an extra hour for the backyard, so 5 hours. Unless the stream was like 3.5, but then it's 4.5. Like, it makes no difference whatsoever. So we're working on the bedroom, of course. Since it's a fashion designer or a style influencer, they needed a very big open closet with a lot of clothes. I feel like if you are so passionate about clothes that you are a fashion designer or a style influencer, you would have a huge wardrobe. That's just how it works. Of course, with a tiny house, we can't do a walk-in closet, so they just have an open closet in their bedroom, but still, room for a lot of clothes in there. It was kind of difficult to figure out what swatches to use because some of the swatches are very colorful and very mixed when it comes to the colors, and I just did not like it. I wanted everything to kind of flow together, so you know, with the living room, we have a little bit of yellow. In the bathroom, there's a little bit of yellow. Then in here, I wanted there to be orange. But it's kind of limited with these. I wish we had more of these, is what I'm trying to say. More of these and also in more different swatches. That's what I'm trying to say. Also because some of the swatches are a little bit like, then all the items are green. And you're like, who has a only green wardrobe? Nobody has an only green wardrobe. Or maybe there are, I mean, there's a pink lady in, is it LA she lives in? She probably only has pink clothes, but like a regular person, like or not a regular person, an average person is what I'm trying to say, would not only have green clothes. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I suppose you could do like a color coordinated wardrobe like that. Actually, I might do that in the future. At some point, a color coordinated wardrobe. I color coordinate my clothes, so I have like I forgot what it was called for a second. I had to Google it, but it's a clothes rack, and all the clothes on the rack are just white, gray, black. So they're color coordinated. They basically go from one end that's white to the other end that's black. I feel like we should do something like that in The Sims at some point, but like maybe color coordinate with some actual colors instead of just white, black, gray, because those are technically not colors. Just wanted to say. So also, I was thinking about this the other day. Right, okay. Speaking of favorite colors, and this is no diss, if these are your favorite colors, that's, you know, everyone's entitled to have their own favorite colors or whatever. It's not a diss in any way. But I feel like, I thought about it for a second, and I feel like saying that your favorite color is gray, which, by the way, gray is not a color, but that's fine. Let's not start that discussion. But I feel like it gives off the same vibes as saying your favorite color is beige. Is that just me? I don't know. I feel like it just gives off the same vibe, right? Like, am I off in that? Again, have your own favorite colors. If your favorite color is beige, that's completely like up to you. Don't care. Also, my favorite color is purple, and I know that's definitely not for everyone. Also burgundy, I love those colors. I don't mean like a lavender kind of purple. That's the kind of purple that I love. And also burgundy. So those colors are not for everyone, and that's fine. Just like having a favorite color is beige is not for me, or gray. But I just feel like the two give off the same vibe. Is that just me? I don't know. I might be overthinking this a little bit. Just like randomly thinking about favorite colors. That's something that I do, and that's how it is. Okay, it's fine. So we're working on the backyard now, and this part I did not record on stream because we just didn't have time for it. I had streamed for a long time and I was tired. I needed to stop. So streaming does take a surprising amount of energy. I feel like it doesn't really fully hit you until you turn off the stream. But I also compared it in my head yesterday. I compared it to basically having a presentation that lasts for like 4 or 5 hours, depending on how long you stream, without having any time to prepare ahead of time. So like you just have a very long presentation that you have no chance to prepare for. But it's so chill, it's so nice to sit there and just chat with everyone. So please don't misunderstand me. I just needed to compare it to something in my head. I was like, presentations, but like a fun presentation, a fun chill presentation. But without having any time to prepare. Like, it's just you're on and you have to think a lot and talk a lot and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully that made some sort of sense. But anyway, so this was not done on stream, and that means this is new to those of you who were on stream as well. But I actually like how this backyard turned out. It's a little bit like we're on different levels and such, but I made room for all the stuff that I wanted to make room for. So they have a grill area, a dining area, and also a very small pool, but there is one. I feel like it fits with the house, but that might just be my opinion. I don't know. I might be biased because I built it, and why would I build something that I don't feel fits with the house? Anyway, so, but I hope you like this house anyway. If you do, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as per usual, well, I'm a little bit behind on the tray files right now. I'm aware of that, but I'll get it fixed either today or tomorrow. I'll keep you guys posted on the community tab. I just know that I'm behind, but I'll fix it. But the tray files will be found on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box as well, down below, and also in the pinned comment. So that is all though. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. So damn naive, it only hurts. I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so thought the love was made for me. Oh well, I was just as blue-eyed as the sky could ever be. Loving you has made me realize I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is, and none of them makes sense.